a very good discussion we had during Korean service yesterday in warning the kids of pornography for men, which gives men a dopamine high because you're looking at new, beautiful, naked women, which, of course, in the past you would never have access to unless you actually were having sex with them. But now every boy on this planet is dealing with pornography. You know what I'm saying? And the Queen gave a beautiful lecture to the young people. But all young boys are dealing with pornography because it's so accessible, it's so private now. Of course, she gave a wonderful lecture showing how pornography is a sin. It's a terrible, terrible thing. If young boys should be very wary of it. And you should definitely repent if you're watching it, because you are committing a sin. But what's happening is that because you're having all these new women that you can see, the dopamine is being released. It's just like the mouse in experimentations, where if you change the sexual partner of the mouse will continue to have sex till it dies. It will not stop. It will not stop having sex. Right after it has sex with one mouse, a female mouse, if you take it out again and put in a new one, it'll see a new female and be sexually active again. So literally, it will kill the mouse because of that dopamine high. That dopamine high, which then gets connected with adrenaline. And you need to see something more deviant to get excited. And you need to see something more deviant to get that dopamine high that you first had when you're watching, just naked ladies in the beginning. And now you're watching lesbians, and now you're watching orgies and group sex, and now you're watching bestiality, and now you're watching child porn. You see what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. Because of that deviancy factor as being an adrenaline booster, mixing with dopamine that you can only get with new things. And that's why it's a slippery slope into Satanism and the exploitation of children. I mean, this is an actual satanic technique, right? When we talked to Zachary King, who was an actual Satanist for 20 plus years and an actual Satanist priest, he said he was lured into Satanism at 14 years old because they had some hot chick, buck wild naked, spread eagling to how many boys? 9, 10 boys, all banging her and just ejaculating in her, and she doesn't even know who the father of the baby is. She gets pregnant, and 9 months later, they have a ceremony where they come in and kill the baby. You understand, this is how Satanism recruits young boys, by naked women, right? By sex. And this is why at the highest level of all these secret societies, it's always these sex parties. It's always these sex cults. It's always you having sex with some kind of, it starts with, just a younger girl. So you're in your 50s and the younger girl's in her 30s. And then it goes on to, basically doing adultery first. Breaking that commitment. And then it goes to a 30-year-old girl. Then it goes to a 20-year-old girl. Then it goes to a 16-year-old girl, right? Then it goes to a 13-year-old girl on an island with Mark Epstein and Bill Clinton and other, Hollywood celebrities. So you feel like you're in this in club and you've joined the top echelon. And they're all doing it. And then it's, an 8-year-old boy. And then it's some kind of animal, and then they're filming this secretly. And then by the time you get to see yourself in the mirror, you're raping and killing and murdering little children. And all this is on film. Now you think about that, how compromised your situation is now, where you cannot do anything that is outside of the line of these devils. They can tell you to do whatever. They can tell you to kill people, and you have to do it. Because if you don't, they'll release these videos. Do you see that? This is how secret societies work. In the end, secret societies, they're not interested in the sex, really. They're interested in the control and the power, the leveraging. The alavanca. That's Portuguese for leveraging. That's what they're interested in. And that's why all these secret societies, from Skull and Bones and all these black, shadows, secret societies, they're all based on these sex cults, sex parties, sexcapades. The federal government is the largest peddler of child porn. And you have deputies and people in these departments that actually have to watch it and monitor these websites. And then they're watching child porn. I mean, how ridiculously creepy is that? That we have federal employees that are paid to watch child porn. I mean, it's just freaking crazy.